Black Americans have resisted historic and ongoing oppression in all forms since our arrival upon the shores of these United States. Efforts have been made to advocate for a dignified, self-determined life in a just and democratic society. However, there still remains work to be done. During Black History Month, the Advocate for Social Justice Committee of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Rho Chi Omega Chapter, will showcase a 4-part video collection demonstrating how Black Americans are resisting systemic oppression across various topics. We will begin this video collection with Week 1, Resisting the Inequality, Improper Health Care, focusing on professional opportunities and the evolution of quality health care. Week 2, Resisting the Narrative, Intellectual Inferiority, focusing on debunking the myth and why HBCUs are essential. Week 3, Resisting the Struggle, on the backs of our brothers, focusing on the challenges of being a Black man and maintaining a strong family legacy. We'll conclude this series with Week 4, Resisting the Stigma, Black Women Will Save the World, focusing on overcoming stereotypes and the contributions women are making to the economic strength of the family unit. Resisting the Struggle, on the backs of our brothers.
Hi, my name is Jared Looney. In being a Black man, I've struggled with my identity. I've struggled with following the crowds, questioning my own abilities, and conforming to my surroundings. The world depicts a Black man in a particular way, but my question has always been, why can't I define it differently? Though everyone has their own experiences, everyone also has that same choice of conforming to those surroundings or exceeding expectations. I've had a great example of what a Black man should be in my life, being I had a great father, but that's not enough for me. I strive to use those things that he's taught me in order to be a better man, because he can only take me so far. I overcame my identity issues once I realized that it's okay to be different. It's okay to be that outlier, because being confident in yourself is worth more than being liked by others. Young Black men understand this. The color of your skin is not a hindrance. It doesn't make you less than anyone, and it doesn't make you better than anyone. Understand that showing emotions is not a sign of weakness. It's just a sign that you're human. Understand that you are loved. And finally, understand that all things work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to his purpose. If you keep God first in everything that you do, strive to gain a personal relationship with him, and cast all your problems in his hands, you will then be able to look at everything that you go through so differently. My advice to you, young Black men, is to be the change that you want to see in your household, your community, your society, and this world. Let that change start with you. Thank you.
Greetings. My name is Cliff March. I am coming to you today to discuss Black history and what challenges that we face as Black men today. One challenge that I will tell you that we face is equal opportunity for employment. In many cases, there are some who are more qualified than people that don't look like us. We fail to get those jobs and those positions. It's quite simple. A lot of, I would just say, Caucasian Americans are afraid that they know that once we come into an organization, they feel that we're going to shun them out because we're better educated and more qualified than they are. A lot of them may have been successful just from using the buddy system or the good old boy system. So that is one challenge that we face. We also face um, equal opportunity within the job itself. So let's say you get the job. Now, I may be performing at a higher level than someone else that does not look like me. And that other person may get the big bonus. And we wonder, why does this happen? It happens simply because a lot of times when we as Blacks, African Americans, get positions of authority and hiring potential, we sometimes become our own worst enemy because we look away from our own and we say, well, we don't want it to be too Black in my organization. We need to, as a people, step up and do the right thing. Hire the most qualified person. And a lot of times that person looks like you. And the next thing that we want to talk about is criminality. A lot of times, criminals commit the same offense, African Americans and those of whites, but we are prosecuted at a higher rate because we make up the larger prison population, especially in the state of Alabama. That's a challenge. What I did to overcome these challenges is I got an education, I became grounded in church, and not just go to church, become an active member in your church, and look out for those who are less fortunate. So those are my key points. I hope you've learned something today. Thank you for your time.
My name is Rallis Jones. I retired from Alpha Insurance Company where I worked as an Alpha agent. I had two proud events that occurred in my early life. That one was that I got a chance to participate in the Children's March for Freedom in 1963, and in 1967 I got a chance to serve my country in the U.S. Army. I'm married to my lovely wife, Betty. And we've been married for 54 years. Mm-hmm. I have two beautiful daughters. They love their sorority, and I'm proud of them for being in that sorority.
The theme for 2023 is Black Resistance. So you talked about two things, and I want to thank you for your service on both of them. That's the Children's March and then the Vietnam War.
Exactly.
So tell me, how did you get involved with that Children's March?
Well, the marches have been going on for several weeks. They had national attention with me. I went to school this particular morning. I really wasn't aware that I was going to be participating in March and any type of demonstrations or anything.
And that was at the high school, at Carver High School?
Carver High School, exactly. We had some civil rights leaders to come around our school. They didn't come on the campus because they weren't allowed to do that, but they crossed the street, and they came and was kind of encouraging us to come over and participate in the marches. We was all excited. Some, we had children. We were running around trying to figure out what was going on. We thought it was nice to be able to get out of class and this and that. And crowds started going across the street, small crowds. Then it got to be large crowds. And then I decided to just go over with the crowd. We'll go over myself in one of the crowds.
You got arrested, is that right?
Correct. We was arrested, and we spent 6 days in jail. 6 days in jail.
And what was that experience like?
It was exciting from the beginning, as long as we had everybody together. But once we got loaded up in the paddy wagons and got over and got in jail, things were beginning to sink in that we really was in jail. So we still was found relief in singing our marching songs. We shall overcome, and do songs like this, and this kind of keeping us motivated.
Right.
And we stayed. After about 3 or 4 hours, we realized that it was really for real, and they began to try to feed us. They brought us some food, maybe some type of sandwiches, maybe some bologna and white bread. It wasn't much of anything, and so we continued to just we was in groups of hundreds of us, and we continued to kind of sing and try to make the best out of it. But we were warned to stop the singing, and we continued to sing from the warden, and they eventually in order to get us stopped, they cut off all the air conditions. We was in the place kind of really hot and burning up in there, really hot. And
Because this was the summertime, right?
In the summertime, exactly. So we, after we had replied to their demands, we finally you got the air back on and things okay. But those next 4 or 5 days, you know, we would just wonder, get it home. We were tired of being there in jail, and we really saw what it was like to be there. But we try to keep ourselves sort of motivated by telling ourselves that, what we were sacrificing for and what we were there for. Mm-hmm. And things sort of worked out for us.
So then, with this experience that you went through, that and Vietnam, and then being a young Black youth in the 50s and 60s, how did all these experiences shape you as you matured into a young adult?
First thing, I really learned how some white people really felt about Black people. I knew about the prejudice and the segregation that was going on in Birmingham, because I was aware of the drinking water. We had signs on the drinking water, white and colored, mm-hmm. and also had signs on the buses that had a certain place. Those petition out where certain places the blacks sit back in the back and the white was up front. So I knew all I knew that the prejudices was there and the discrimination, but it really kind of set in when I didn't know that the gravity of it, how it affected us in so many other areas, in jobs and places to stay and stuff like that. So it taught me humility and let me know where I was as a man and what really that I taught me that I needed a better life than what I was living, and I was sort of determined to change my lifestyle. For us change from being without to having something. I got sort of tired of being poor, maybe because I recognized when I was going in jail and everything, talking to other people, that what poor was really like, and how much was taken from Black people. We didn't have quality of stuff. Our conditions, we had what was more or less the leftovers, on things, and that sort of inspired me to just to want to do better for myself, be a better person, and because before I was married or anything, I was still just finding myself.
So how did you grow and develop in the world and take care and support your family? Tell us about that.
Well, I was really excited about being married, because being the honeymoon is always a beautiful part of it. I was just enjoying. I had gotten out of high school and was working for a company that I was delivering supplies for, mm-hmm. and it was a decent job, especially for myself, and so things went along pretty good. But after about 1968, I had met my wife Betty, and we decided we were getting married. And getting married, I knew I found it was a total different animal now. I didn't think about the value of education when I was coming up, being a younger man, staying in school. I guess one thing that sort of deterred me was the number of siblings we had. And I didn't see, I always felt, and I use maybe just an excuse I always felt that my parents couldn't afford to send me to college and a feminist school, and I really didn't do anything to help that situation. So, since all I wanted to do was interested in then was getting out and trying to find some type of job to have an income, but still not realizing that I had to be patient, and that's the thing that I think that young people can really think about. You can't get it all at one time. You got to be patient. So I learned patience there, and that helped me.
Tell me what challenges you faced as a family.
Well, we still, Betty and I had the same vision. Well, that's we knew that we had to have jobs, and Betty during the time she was at Alabama State, and she landed a position in South Carolina. We still being young, we had never been to South Carolina, had never been to too many places at all, but we were willing to face the challenge to go and to move up and get her, and for her to get some employment, because I felt that once she get employed, I could find some employment. I could find something to do until I got what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Your mother had a job, and when I was looking for a job, I was able to spend time taking care of you, doing the babysitting. So that was sort of the experience there.
Okay, so then tell me, what advice would you have to any of our young fathers? What would you tell them?
One thing that I found that really worked in my life, and I like to share with young people, you really need to put God in your life, participate in church, be around other Christian people.
Mm-hmm.
See, doing this, it really will help you to learn about God and know that not take life for granted. And I would advise people, young men, to work and realize that nobody owes you anything. In order to survive in this life, you will have to work. And I thank God that I took that responsibility early. I realized that I had to work, so it wasn't a problem with me, because I like to eat as well. and I mean, this is especially because, and then once I got being married, you know that you had a family. I knew it was for me to take care of them.
So I guess my final question for you is going to be a reflection back over your 75 years of life. What have you seen in the Black community progress and be better, stay the same, or what could be made better? What are your final words for us?
Well, I've always been pretty optimistic, and in my 75 years, I've seen first of all, our school systems improve dramatically. The education has gotten a lot better now. We can go to schools of our choice, which was really good, and being able to go to school and learn the value of education. Even when I was a young man, and maybe some young guys out there now that don't take education as serious as we should. We really need to try to do all we can to learn as much as we can. So by doing that, we can have a better quality of life. Because if the more knowledge you have and the more skills you have, the better you can take care of your family.
This concludes our week 3 presentation on resisting the struggle, on the backs of our brothers. For more information on Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, or logo programs and activities from the Rokai Mega Chapter servicing Alabama's Madison and Morgan counties, please visit our website at aka-rco.org. Thank you.